వారి కుటుంబం అంటే మన కుటుంబమే, కానీ ఆ సైనిక కుటుంబానికి సంబంధించిన ఒక స్పెషల్ వ్యక్తి మనకి ఈరోజు రావడం అనేది మనం చేసుకున్న ఒక ధన్యం పుణ్యం అని అనుకోవచ్చు. అటువంటి భోగేశ్వరరావు గారిని, ఆయన ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ని మనకి షేర్ చేస్తూ ఆయన ఎంచుకున్న పరమవీర చక్ర గారిని మనకి పరిచయం చేయాల్సిందిగా కోరుకుంటూ, ఆయనకి సంబంధించిన వివరాలని మనకి తెలియజేయాల్సిందిగా లక్ష్మీప్రియ గారిని నేను ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాను. ప్లీజ్ మేడం.
హ్యాపీ మార్నింగ్ అందరికీ. ముందుగా అందరికీ విజయదశమి శుభాకాంక్షలు. మనందరికీ ఈ విజయదశమి ఇంకా ఎన్నో విజయాలు మనకి యాడ్ చేయాలని కోరుకుంటూ, ఈరోజు సెషన్ ఎంత అద్భుతంగా ఉందండి. ఈసారి మన లైఫ్ లో ఫస్ట్ టైం అనుకుంటా విజయదశమి చాలా డిఫరెంట్ గా స్టార్ట్ చేసాము. ఇంకా ఎంతో అంటే లాస్ట్ 2 సెషన్స్ చాలా ఎక్సలెంట్ ఉంది. అండ్ ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇంకా అద్భుతంగా చెప్పడానికి వస్తున్నారు. ఎందుకంటే ముందే చెప్తున్నాను నేను అద్భుతంగా అని. ఎందుకంటే మనకి లాస్ట్ ఈ పరమవీర చక్ర సెషన్ లో ప్రతిరోజు ఏదో ఒక ఇన్సైట్స్ ఇస్తూ ఉన్నారు, వాల్యూ యాడ్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు. ఈ రోజు మన పరమవీర చక్ర మనం తెలుసుకోబోతున్నాము. నిర్మల్ జిత్ సింగ్ షేఖాన్ గారి గురించి చెప్పడానికి మన ముందుకు వస్తున్నారు TBR గారు, టి భోగేశ్వరరావు గారు. సార్ క్వాలిఫికేషన్ వచ్చి MA పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్, MA ఇంగ్లీష్, LLB చేశారు. అండ్ సార్ ఇస్ ఎ ట్రైనర్, లైఫ్ కోచ్ అండ్ ఆథర్. హీ హాస్ రిటన్ an autobiography, TBR The Unstoppable. Sir has worked as extended his services in the Air Force for the 15 years and sir is an entrepreneur. He is running a TBR group. He is the managing director and the chairman for the TBR group. Sir is running TBR Sainik School. Last 16 years nunchi స్కూల్ రన్ చేస్తూ ఇంకా ఎన్నో వాల్యూస్ మన ఫ్యూచర్ జనరేషన్ పిల్లలకి యాడ్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు. అండ్ సర్ ఇస్ ఆల్సో రన్నింగ్ అండ్ రమ్య ఎంటర్ప్రైజెస్ అని రూరల్ ఉమెన్ డెవలప్మెంట్ కోసం ఒక గార్మెంట్ ఇండస్ట్రీ అనేది రన్ చేస్తున్నారు. అండ్ సర్ ఇస్ ఆల్సో ఏ యూట్యూబర్. TBR The Unstoppable అనే యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్లో మోర్ దాన్ 200+ వీడియోస్, ఎంతో మంది ఫేమస్ పర్సనాలిటీస్ ని ఇంటర్వ్యూ చేయడం, ఎంతో మంది వార్ హీరోస్ గురించి ఎన్నో వీడియోస్ అనేది ఆల్రెడీ సార్ దాంట్లో ఉంది. సార్ హెస్ కండక్టెడ్ మోర్ దాన్ మెనీ వెబినార్స్ ఆన్ 1971 వార్ హీరోస్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. ఐఎమ్ రియలీ blessed to invite you onto the stage. Welcome to the digital dance.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi Garu, for your wonderful introduction. And my heartfelt gratitude to the Impact Foundation, led by our Gampa Nageshwar Rao Garu, and particularly this designer talk on PVC, conducted by our Sudhir Garu and all the other coordinators. In fact, it has been a wonderful subject, and taking it to further to the next level, starting from for the past 5 years. 5 days. So I feel blessed to have got this opportunity of sharing my experiences about my own hero, of course, national hero, that is flying officer Nirmal Jit Singh Sekhon. So once you say that name, our even Indian hair starts raising for all the air warriors for the past so many generations, for the past more than 50 years. So this was flying officer Nirmal Jit Sekhon is the lone winner of Param Vir Chakra from Indian Air Force so far, out of 90 years of existence. And we all feel proud of his achievement, bravery, that is ultimate bravery that he achieved at the cost of losing his life. Normally there is a strong message from the soldiers every time. There is a quote saying that when you go home, tell them of us that for your tomorrow we gave our today. That is the mindset of the people, soldiers, to protect all our countrymen. So we find his story is such an inspiring one. Then so now he was born in 1945 to another super air warrior, Master Warrant Officer Trilok Singh. And his mother was Harbans Kaur. He was born in Isewal in Patiala district in the erstwhile Punjab of erstwhile British Raj. Then he studied up to high school in Khalsa School, and thereafter he started pursuing his engineering degree in 1962 in Dayal Singh College in Agra. So from childhood onwards, he is so fascinated about this Air Force life or fighter aircrafts. Then he decided to become a pilot, that is a fighter pilot. And in fact, he achieved his dream by getting selected into the Indian Air Force as a pilot. So he was trained as a fighter pilot, and somewhere in October 1968, he joins the fighter squadron, that is NAT fighter squadron, and he starts giving the services. So meanwhile, so we all know there was a great war of 1971 in which we all the Indians feel proud of creating a new nation, that is Bangladesh. Until then it was known as East Pakistan, and in fact our armed forces gave birth to a new nation, liberated all the Bengalis who were continuously tormented, persecuted by unleashing terror of the gravest kind. And there is a one, General Niyaji. He is also known as the butcher of all the Bengalis. So this is all, the genesis of the story goes back to 1971, March 26th, when in the elections of Pakistan, our Bhutto, Mujibur Rahman wins the landslide victory out of 169 seats. He wins 167 seats out of the total of National Assembly of 300 seats. He is supposed to be the chief prime minister of Pakistan by virtue of his majority democratically. But then Yahya Khan didn't want that, the then president. Then he declares emergency and starts terrorizing and unleashing terror on the Bengalis, where we came to know through history, more than 1 million ladies were raped, more than 3 millions were killed, and more than 10 million Bengalis fled for safety to India. So that it has become a huge financial burden on India to maintain this many, almost 1 crore refugees from Bangladesh. So that time, our government, our prime minister wanted to declare a war because the peace means were not sorting out the thing, and asked our then General Manekshaw to go for a war. Manekshaw himself clearly said this is not the time for war. Lord, because of the rains and marshy lands and clouds, it's not possible for forces to go on war. So based on his advice, the war was postponed from March till December. So as the atrocities increased, and the oppression of all the Bengalis, they were treated as a second-class people even within their own country because of their Bengal origin. So people from West Pakistan used to rule the country. So that is again the discrimination between themselves. So as the war clouds were on, finally Pakistan, both the sides prepared for a full-fledged war, and somewhere by the December 1971, on 3rd, Pakistan conducts a preemptive strike on all the 11 air bases of our India on the Western Front. So that is the starting up of it. On the same day, 3rd December, our Prime Minister Indira Gandhi holds a meeting and declares a war against Pakistan in the same night. Then our soldiers, our forces were ready on the borders, and the war officially commenced for India from 4th December. They started, our soldiers, brave soldiers, started firing and bombing and doing all the things against the Pakistanis. Even in the Eastern Front, within 7 days of war, our people got the supremacy of air power. Our people, our brave pilots, smashed their runways, particularly Tezgam runway near Dhaka. It was bombarded like hell, that it became totally unusable and immobilized. From that day onwards, we got complete superiority. Now, when we come to our hero, Flying Officer Nirmal Jit Singh Sekhon, the great pilot of Indian Air Force, he was there at that time in Ambala. On 4th, his squadron, a detachment of the squadron, 4 aircrafts, with 4 pilots were detached to Srinagar Air Base. So Srinagar Air Base is such a, no, it is something special for Indian context. That time, because of the UN agreement in 1948, we were not supposed to deploy any of our aircraft or any radars for our defense. So because of that, and also the another difficulty in Srinagar airport is, so air base is that it is a mountainous terrain, lots of mountains, and it is very difficult to identify the enemy aircraft coming from Pakistan side. So taking advantage of this, so Pakistanis made the strategy to come to start at the 20,000 level, come down at the 2,000 feet level before they reach this air base, and again going up to 300 feet and start bombing and strapping and bombarding and destroying the things. So it was going on. This is the difficulty. And our pilots, they only reached on 4th December. They did not have any previous experience of flying on the mountain regions. These were the odds against our 4 pilots led by squadron leader Patania, flight lieutenant Bopaya, and flight lieutenant Guman, and the youngest being our flying officer Nirmal Jit Singh Sekhon. So they were positioned there, and the next day onwards, on 5th onwards, Pakistan, they come into our air base. On 5th itself, they started bombing the villages, and 61 villages were killed by the Pak jet bombers. They are known as Sabers, Saber aircraft made of America. They are so powerful. And again on 6th also, 3 rounds of waves of attacks, 3 times attack on 6th itself onto the Pakistan, our Srinagar Air Base. Then at one point of time, our leader, squadron leader Patani also, he gets airborne, takes off and takes a position, goes behind an aircraft. He wanted to kill it by pressing it. Unfortunately, the trigger did not work. So that's how they escaped from the scene. Again, we have on 7th also, our 3 NATs. NAT is an aircraft, small aircraft, but maneuverable, quite effective. That is being used by our pilots from Srinagar. So they also escorted, means so some aircraft go, vampire aircraft is also bomber aircraft. It goes into the Pakistan territory and drops the bombs and destroys the things. To give the protection that these NATs are used to give the escort, like the cover up for this thing. So in that, our hero, flying officer Sekhon also goes as an escort and he spots some mules carrying some supplies to the armed forces, Pakistani army. Then he identifies them, he starts bombarding them and causing a lot of damage to them. That is the greatness of, even though he's young, he is expert in flying. So he has got the determination to see the end of the enemies. Again, on 8th also, there was an attack near Kargil sector where the 2 heroes, flight lieutenant Guman, and he is the senior, and flying officer again, our Sekhon, they go for attack and come back successfully. Again, a series of waves of attacks Pakistan start doing on our Indian territories or air bases. Now on 8th, again they attacked, but on 9th, so that they also come again with a lot of 4 Sabre jet fighters bombarding our airport, our air base, causing some damages to our air force, so that our flights or aircraft cannot take off and attack Pakistan. That was their intention. Even then, our air base was bombarded at 9th, and by 11th it was made ready by our own people. And again on by 11th we were able to again make that runway airworthy. So now the final day, and Pakistanis were surprised. So they wanted to have another strategy, last and final one, a lethal one, and intended to destroy our air force base in Srinagar by making it a rock, like ash. So rock jala ke rakh denge. That was the dialogue they used them. By now it is now briefed that the mission from Pakistan was briefed by Wing Commander Changeji, the most experienced person. He is the commanding officer of 26 Squadron. operating all these Sabre aircraft, powerful aircraft, and that is known as black spiders. So that is part of it. They make a thorough plan, and they never wanted to lose the opportunity, and it becomes a prestige for them to destroy Srinagar airfield. So back then, in our place, we have Nats in our place, and that squadron is 18th squadron, known as Flying Bullets. The common name is given. They are also prepared. The passions are very high on both the sides. Pakistan wanted to destroy our airport, and at the same time, our brave pilots, the 4 pilots, wanted to protect the airport from being destroyed by the Pakistani pilots. This is the issue. And finally, the D-Day comes, the main day, the day of main thing comes. That is on 14th December 1971. So as it is, so it was cloudy. Our pilots thought it meant the Pakistan may not attack because of the climate. But so all of a sudden at 6:30 in the morning, our Airbus, Srinagar Air Base receives message from the mobile observation post, because when the flights come at the lower level, our radars cannot detect it. That is the advantage of coming at the lower level, going up and attacking and running away. So that was the plan from their side. Now, instead of 4 aircraft, they planned with 6 aircraft from the enemy side. So 4 will be attacking, and 2 aircraft will give the cover at 2,000 feet above these 4. So that was the plan. They wanted to make our air base like ashes. So now our hero, the bravest of the brave, Flying Officer Sekhon, was on duty along with Flight Lieutenant Guman. He is the senior person, and our Flying Officer Nirmal Jit Singh Sekhon is to help him. So they are on the Operational Readiness Platform, ORP, means they're ready to take off at any time. So now, once they are on time and they get the message, and along with the message, as soon as the message comes, there are the sirens. Their sirens are blaring everywhere. Everybody started scrambling, means running for the duties. And these 2 officers, Lieutenant Guman and our Flying Officer Sekhon, they also scramble fast for running as fast as possible to the aircraft and take position in the aircraft and ready to take off and take on the fight. So meanwhile, they're already on the top, 4 aircraft already on top, they started bombing us. So it is not at all advisable, or it is immensely dangerous to take off at that point of time. So even then, our Flight Lieutenant Guman, the leader of the mission, 2 formation mission, somehow he takes off in spite of the bombing from the enemy aircraft overhead. So soon after he takes off, then our hero, Flying Officer Sekhon, he also wants to take off. He becomes impatient to take revenge on Pakistan. Then he asks for the permission from the Air Traffic Control Office. They give the permission to take off. So they refuse to give the takeoff, saying that there is an immense danger. Bombing from the top. It's not at all advisable. Don't take off. But he ignores their refusal and he takes off. He taxis out and takes off. And even during, as he was taking off, bombs were falling on the runway. So that is the situation. Then he takes off and gains his height. And by the time he gains his height, there are 4 aircraft. So he happens to be in the middle of the 4 aircraft. Then once he is in the middle, he gets the advantage of the front aircraft. So he positions himself, gets behind 1 aircraft that of Pakistan. That aircraft is piloted by Flight Lieutenant Dotani. So he starts firing this Sabre aircraft, enemy aircraft, but he tries to duck and dodge, and it's like a dogfight. So now there are 2 aircraft behind him. So 1 aircraft positions themselves behind our hero, Flying Officer Sekhon. So he starts firing our Sekhon. Our Sekhon starts firing the Dotani in his friend. So now in this thing, so our Sekhon gets a hit on this flight level Dotani. Then his aircraft is also, some pieces are flying out from the aircraft. So he scrambles, the Dotani scrambles, saying that I am hit, please save. So then the person at the back, the Andraji, he advises him, So you are going to be hit. Go get lost from the scene. Get away from there. So by listening to his Andraji, flight Andraji is the person behind our Sekhon. So this person at the front, he simply takes a turn, run away from the scene. So now it is the turn for the person again to, and he keeps on attacking our hero. But he somehow is dodging and maneuvering and avoiding this thing. And also, so one aircraft gone. Then that is the flight lamp Dotani. Now he finds another aircraft in the front. So our Sekhon changes the direction and positions himself behind another aircraft that was moving ahead of him. So that aircraft is piloted by their commanding officer, that is Wing Commander Changeji, most experienced person. That he starts firing, and at the back of our Sekhon, that again flight lamp Andraji also starts firing. So by the time he wanted, Andraji takes position, he wanted to fire at our Sekhon, but by the time he wanted to fire, that all the ammunition exhausted. Luckily, our hero survives. He cannot do it. Then again that Wing Commander Changeji, the commanding officer of the Pakistan Air Force, now he screams, SOS, we call SOS, save our souls. There is a emergency kind of thing. Then he shouts, SOS, save us. That Indian aircraft is now firing us. Then listening to his shouts, then there are only 4 aircraft. As soon as the leader calls for the help, the 2 aircrafts, they are for protecting them about 2,000 feet away. So they were watching all the action in horror. How such a single pilot handling and attacking 4 of our own pilots. Then they come down diving. So the aircraft diving from the top has an advantage, great advantage of firing. So both the aircrafts, one led by Flight Lieutenant Mir and the other led by Flight Lieutenant Mirza, they start firing incessantly, continuously from the top. So now, eventually, because of our aircraft of our Sekhon gets 37 bullet hits on the aircraft. Finally, outnumbered by 1:6, and because of the incessant firing, so he gets the hit. He says, "I think I have been hit. Guman, please come and take on." So Guman is another pilot who was supposed to fight together. Unfortunately, because of the bad weather and invisibility, he lost the ground. He went in a different direction. He was not able to come and help him. Even aircraft, the air traffic control, he says, Sekhon, you eject, Sekhon, eject. But he does not want to eject. So now again, now we can see there is a trio. As I was saying, our in the front, Wing Commander Changeji. Behind him, our flying officer Sekhon, and behind him, another this thing. They were moving round and round and round like this. All the three aircraft making a circle, trio of circle. So we are waiting if somebody does a grave mistake. That was the thing. It's a dog fight only at the tree level. Even it was witnessed by some of the people also from the ground. Such is the thing. And their commanding our officer also, he screams. He was also advised to run away from the scene because of the continuous attack from our hero. So as the aircraft from the top, they descend and pounced upon our Sekhon, and because of the continuous firing, he loses control of his own aircraft because all the systems fail. Despite the warning from the air traffic controller, eject, he wanted to fight till the end. Unfortunately, eventually, by the time that he lost control, so it was going to fall. It was going like this and almost plummeting. And finally, hits on the ground with a big ball of bursting into a big ball of fire. And so he, at the last minute, he tries to eject. So that parachute also seen coming out, but unfortunately, because of the low level, he could not survive the crash. So he was martyred. So immediately, their leader, squadron leader Patania and Flight Lieutenant Bopaya rushes to the side and takes the remains. And the same day, our great hero was martyred and cremated on the same day. So such is the greatness of our flying officer Sekhon. So he was handling 1 to 6 at epic proportions, and even their own pilot who shot our Sekhon, Flight Lieutenant Mirja, he acknowledges separately that flying officer Sekhon flying officer Sekhon put up a brave fight. He was a hard nut to crack. We salute his valor. So even his enemies also acknowledge the greatness of our hero. So immediately thereafter, because of his sublime heroism, then supreme gallantry and flying skills and determination in the face of the enemy, in the face of the certain death, displayed by flying officer Nirmal Jit Singh. It's in the highest traditions of Air Force, was awarded with Param Vir Chakra, means bravest of the brave, for his excellent bravery and fighting despite the odds, 1:6, 1:4, and this has never happened in the history of air battle. First time happened, and our hero really, he deserves our salutes for his exemplary courage in the face of enemy. So such is there are so many bravery awards, starting from mention in dispatch, lowest thing. Above them, Vayu Sena medal or Sena medal. Then we have the chakras from that is Vir Chakra, given for wonderful bravery. Then above that, Mahavir Chakra, like our Santosh Kumar, Colonel Santosh Kumar. And we have also one person having got the Mahavir Chakra, that is Air Vice Marshal Parker. He is there in Hyderabad itself. Like that. So this is the bravest of the brave, given only to the exemplary courage in the face of enemy. That's what he set the example for. So now the entire Air Force is he is not physically with us, but his spirit continues in the hearts and cells of the body of all the air warriors present or previous, from generations to generation. Even there is a belief that the spirit of flying officer Nirmal Jit Singh Sekhon protects Srinagar, and that's how he protected Srinagar till the last day. And barely 2 days thereafter, that is on 16th December 1971, Pak was made to surrender with 93,000 prisoners of war, and the Air Force together with Indian Army played a very crucial role, coordinated effort, because of and established air superiority within 1 week of war. And in the history of in the world history after Second World War, this is the biggest surrendering 93,000 people. But our people were limited, maybe in hundreds, they were in thousands. Yet, because of the bravery, because of the men behind the machines, we were able to achieve success. And it is in the world history, it is the greatest victory, creating a state, getting rid of Pakistani oppression on the Bangladesh. And we fought a just war. So like today is the Dasara. So victory of good over evil. In the same way, we fought a good war, just war, and God gave us in fact, I feel our living gods are our own soldiers. And the pilots like flying officer Nirmal Jit Singh Sekhon and others saved our country from being destroyed by these nefarious designs of Pakistan. Not only in 71, even 99 also we in Kargil war. Our brave heroes. Our machine may not be so fast, modern, but The men behind the machines are the cause of our victory in all the wars and every war. So that's why we have to remember their saying. So when you go home and tell them of us that for your tomorrow, we gave our today. Means I'm sacrificing my life so that you can grow, you can develop, you can live in peace. So hats up to our great hero, really a great hero. And on my part, I have established a school, having NCC and trying to motivate. And now you can see this is the 1971 war, that is the Swarnim Vijay Vars, celebrated in Hyderabad itself in Ravindra Bharati on 31st October 2001, last year, where I was blessed to invite the brave heroes of 1971 war, like Vir Chakra holders, Mahavir Chakra holders, and bringing them on the stage and getting them recognized, remembered, and respected by our governor, Haryana Governor Dattatreya Garu. And it was such an amazing event for me. I feel so blessed that I got lots of blessing from all the war heroes, because they fought for us, they bled for us, but they are forgotten once the war is over. Once we did that, so I can see their eyes, happiness in their eyes. Then even the higher official like air marshals and all, they came before me. I am only sergeant, like a head clerk before a principal secretary. So they came to me. They are heroes, not only rank holders. They are heroes of 71. Like you see, if you see, can you show this one? This one. You can see another Sardaji here is the Wing Commander Grewal. If you can see, he also gets Veer Chakra award. The best thing about, the main thing about him is he was a POW, prisoner of war in Pakistan for 1 year. So he was tortured like anything. And there is a story and film also about him, about the jailbreak. Three of them wanted to break the jail and come out. In fact, virtually they escaped from the jail. Unfortunately, at the second day, and only 2 kilometers away from the Afghanistan border, they were again caught and taken back to the custody. So like that, we have another hero here, Air Commodore. So he is also another hero. He is also all fighter pilots. He goes for attack. Unfortunately, he was hit by the Pakistani bullets and he crashes. He was taken as a prisoner of war, and again he put in the jail for about 1 year. After 1 year, they come back. So like that, there were 12 pilots. So now we have so many heroes here. So on 14th, is on the same, we have a person here by the side of our Dattatreya Governor. He is Air Vice Marshal Bishnoi. So he was wing commander at the time. He was the leader for Governor building shooting on the same day at about 10:30. In Dhaka, there was a cabinet meeting by these people, their governor and all the people. At that time, they made a accurate attack on the governor building 55 minutes after the meeting. So then the best part is, soon after that attack, 14th attack, that governor himself so scared and shivered that he immediately offered praise to God, and he wanted a pen and taken a paper, and with a shaking eyes, I resigned for the post of governor. So such is the fear, such fear in the minds of enemies, and such is the greatness of our own soldiers. I feel proud of being an air warrior. In my youth, served for country for 15 years. And that made me what I am today. So started my career with 700 rupees as a pension. Now I have become a MD of my own company, providing employment to more than 5,000 people, and build up a 100 crore company. So this all because my Air Force. I feel proud of it. And I owe all my, whatever I am today, I have become somebody out of nobody only because of Air Force. So such is the force. We can never find outside such kind of mindset than greatness. So I thank once again to our Gampa, Nageshwara Garu, and all the persmen. But you can see I have built a war memorial in my own school. This is a war memorial where there is an Amar Jawan Jyoti, and behind him there is a wall of valor. So inscribing the names of all the 21 war heroes, Param Vir Chakra holders, it is there. And on the top, again the slogan, when you go home, tell them of us that we gave our today for your tomorrow. Thank you.
వండర్ఫుల్ సార్, వండర్ఫుల్ సెషన్. చూసుకుంటే మనం యాక్చువల్ గా బేసిక్ ఇన్ని డేస్ వినింది అంతా సోల్జర్స్ రియల్ ఫీల్డ్ లో వాళ్ళు ఫైట్ చేసింది అంటే పర్సనల్ గా వాళ్ళు పెట్టిన ఎఫర్ట్స్. కానీ ఈరోజు సబ్జెక్ట్ అంటే ఎయిర్ ఫోర్స్ లో ఫైట్ చేయడము విత్ ద ఫ్లైట్స్, ఇది అనేది కొంచెం డిఫరెంట్ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఉంది. మోస్ట్లీ నాకు తెలిసి బీయింగ్ ఏ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ దాట్ మీకు అది పాసిబుల్ అయింది అనుకుంటాను. యూ మేడ్ అస్ విజువలైజ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. యూజువల్ గా అయితే మనము లైక్ ఆర్మీలో వాళ్ళు ఫైట్ చేస్తుంటే సోల్జర్స్, అది మనం ఏదో కొన్ని మూవీస్ లో చూసాం కాబట్టి మనకు అది పాసిబుల్ అవుతుంది, లైక్ ఆ పిక్చర్ మనకు కనిపించడానికి. బట్ యూ పుట్ యువర్ మాక్సిమం ఎఫర్ట్స్ లైక్ మేకింగ్ us అండర్స్టాండ్ వాట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ has happened with all your efforts. That was really
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
సూపర్ సార్. అంటే బేసిక్ గా అంటే మాకు ఐడియా లేదు, సోల్జర్స్ అంటే ఏదో 2-3 సినిమాలో చూసాం కాబట్టి ఎలా ఫైట్ చేస్తారో అది విజువలైజ్ చేయడానికి, అది ఫీల్ అవ్వడానికి పాసిబుల్ అయ్యింది. కాకపోతే ఇప్పుడు ఎయిర్ తోని ఫ్లైట్స్ ఎలా ఫైట్ చేసుకుంటుంది అండ్ ద వే యూ సెట్ ద 4 ఫ్లైట్స్ మధ్యలో 2 sides నుంచి ఫైట్ చేయడము అండ్ పైన వాళ్ళ నుంచి, ఇట్ వాస్ ట్రెమెండస్. అంటే మాకు లైక్ వీ కుడ్ ఇమాజిన్, విజువలైజ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఇన్ ఫ్రంట్ ఆఫ్ అవర్ ఐస్. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ దట్ సార్. అండ్ వీ కుడ్ అండర్స్టాండ్ అంటే ఎలా ఉంటుంది అంటే లైక్ ఐ హ్యావ్ హర్డ్, అంటే నాకు బేసిక్ గా హిస్టరీ చాలా పూర్ నేను, అండ్ పరమవీర చక్ర ఈ సెషన్ వల్ల నాకు తెలిసింది. బట్ మహావీర్ చక్ర, వీర్ చక్ర ఇవన్నీ ఎలా ఉంటుంది అండ్ లెవెల్స్ ఆఫ్ అవార్డ్స్ అనేది ఇట్ వాస్ రియలీ అండర్స్టాండింగ్. అండ్ థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ మేకింగ్ us అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్. And the way you appreciated the real war heroes in Ravindra Bharati, what you said is really, you're very lucky to get the chance to felicitate them. Really, you're very fortunate, sir. And we are very fortunate to hear that we are seeing you. That was a tremendous, wonderful session, sir. And I think it is possible for you because being a part of the Air Force, you could visualize that, you could better understand that, and you brought the better things to us today. Thank you sir. Thank you for the wonderful.
In fact, no, I felt the tears of happiness in their eyes when those I think about 6 of the POW prisoner of wars, they were meeting for the first time in our Ravindra Bharati after 50 years of war. So I think they deserve a lot of respect and remembrance for every now and then.
Sir,
really, I feel really passionate.
Yeah, sir, in your facial expressions, we can see how that scene was there at that time. We can see with your facial expressions the way you felt now when you are saying that. Superb, sir, superb. And
those great heroes at the end of the function, they came to me. I'm a small, as I said, very small rank, like Havaldar and DGP. So that is the difference. So then they felt, Mr. Rao, we feel ashamed. Because the way you have done, we could have not done it, and nobody could have done it. So we are really proud of that. Is the blessing I received. That I still remember.
So you deserve it. You deserve it, sir, because you are into many fields. I can see like mid Air Force, being an advocate, being a life coach, and you are running a school and women development kosam chestunnaru. You are doing multitasking. That helped you to serve them. You got that thought and you made it.
I owe everything to my Air Force.
That's your. I cannot say.
The way it transforms us really, yes. Mentally, physically, and spiritually. So they make us what we are today.
Yes, you
at the soldier always.
At the end, you were adding one point that have reached from nobody to something. Yes, you have reached a great heights today, sir. You are like. You are mentor for many people and you are the role model for many of us. You have reached a level today.
Thank you so much. No, thank you. Thanks to the Impact Foundation for giving me this coverage and exposure, opportunity of communicating my experiences.
Thank you, sir. Great salute to you also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Over to Sudhir, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Salute to you. గ్రేట్ TBR గారు, నిజంగా మీరు చెప్పిన విధానం అద్భుతం అండి. మాకు చాలా మందిని నేను చూసుంటాను, ఫ్లైట్ లో ఎక్కడానికి కూడా భయపడతారు. ఎక్కిన తర్వాత ఒక కవర్లు ఇస్తారు, వామిటింగ్ చేసుకుంటారేమో అని చెప్పి, లేకపోతే చాక్లెట్స్ ఇస్తారు, లేకపోతే చిన్న చిన్న ఏవో ఇస్తూ ఉంటారు. అవి చప్పరిచ్చండి మీకు ఏమైనా వామిటింగ్ అవుతుందేమో అన్న సెన్సేషన్ వస్తుంది కాబట్టి. కానీ నేను పిక్చర్స్ లో జనరల్ గా 26 జనవరికి అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం 15th ఆగస్ట్కి టీవీలో చూస్తున్నప్పుడు ఢిల్లీలో జరిగే మీ విన్యాసాలు ఉంటాయి కదా, అసలు అది ఎలా చేస్తారా అనేది పెద్ద షాకింగ్. ఇట్లా పైకి వెళ్తూ ఉంటాయి, కిందికి వస్తూ ఉంటాయి, తిరుగుతూ ఉంటారు. అసలు నిజంగా కూర్చోవాలంటేనే మనకి డ్రాపులు పడే పరిస్థితి. అసలు ఎలా చేస్తారా అనేది నిజంగా హ్యాట్స్ ఆఫ్ అండి. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం ఇప్పుడు
మైండ్ సెట్ నో ట్రైనింగ్ అండ్ మైండ్ సెట్ డెవలప్డ్ బై ఎయిర్పోర్ట్.
21 మంది పరమవీర చక్రాల్లో ఒక్కరికి మాత్రమే ఇప్పటికీ ఫ్లయింగ్ ఆఫీసర్ కి రావడం అనేది, అది ఈ రోజు మీరు చెప్పిన పరమవీర చక్ర అయి ఉండడం అనేది నిజంగా హ్యాట్స్ ఆఫ్ టు యూ అండ్ అతనికి కూడా నిజంగా గ్రేట్ అండి.
In fact, there were 11 Mahavir Chakras during that war from Air Force point of view, and more than 107 Veer Chakras. So more than 200 mentioned in dispatches, lowest in thing. So this is the bravest of the brave and highest one of highest degree. Very difficult to receive, reach to that level. So now ultimately we say every pilot has a dream to participate in a war.
Yes.
So he participated in the war and achieved greatness in the war. So he lived his dream despite the challenges. That's the thing.
నిజంగా మీకు మీ కుటుంబ సభ్యులకి నిజంగా హ్యాట్స్ ఆఫ్ చెప్పాలండి. ఎందుకంటే వీర తిలకం దిద్ది యుద్ధానికి పంపించడం రాజుల కాలంలో వినున్నాం, కానీ ఇప్పుడు మాత్రం ప్రత్యక్షంగా మీ కుటుంబ సభ్యులకు కూడా నిజంగా హ్యాట్స్ ఆఫ్ చెప్పాలి, ధన్యవాదాలు చెప్పాలి. ఎందుకంటే దేశం గురించి ముందుకి ధైర్యంగా నడిపిస్తా ఉన్నారు వాళ్ళు. అటువంటి వాళ్ళకు కూడా మనం సెల్యూట్. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి. ఈ రోజు 2 గంటలు అవ్వొస్తుంది, ఇంకా అప్పుడే అయిపోయిందా అన్న ఫీలింగ్ వచ్చేసింది నాకు. ఎందుకంటే శ్రీధర్ విఠలం గారి సెషన్ అవసరం, అండ్ మా రోజు రమోష్ గారు అయితే అక్కడికే తీసుకెళ్లారు, మీరైతే గాలిలో మమ్మల్ని విన్యాసాలు చేయించారు. నిజంగా హ్యాట్స్ ఆఫ్ అండి. మీ ముగ్గురికి వందనాలు, శతకోటి వందనాలు. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ వన్స్ అగైన్.